Welcome back. It is 6:42. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning San Diego. Today is World Mental Health Day, and joining us now to talk more about the mental health resources offered at Just in Time for Foster Youth is the organization's Chief Empowerment Officer, Don Wells. Don, good morning. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You know, it's a particularly vulnerable time when someone within the foster care system then transitions into adulthood and being more on their own, and sometimes that support system isn't there. But we often see mental health issues for that particular group. Can you elaborate on that?
Certainly, and I guess the way I would want to start is that there's a mental health crisis going on in our country, and it particularly hitting young people. The rates of mental health issues have been skyrocketing, especially since COVID. And part of that is because there's an increasing sense of disconnection, sometimes disempowerment and doubt among the younger population. They're looking at the future, and there's climate change, there's uncertainty, everything is sort of discombobulated, and they're trying to figure out how to deal with that. So it's a general thing, but as you said, when young people leave foster care, they also are doing that without that consistent support that some of their peers would have who haven't been through the foster care system. And there's been lots of studies done about adverse childhood experiences, how that affects everything from mental health to physical health. And so once we recognize that, we try to find ways to mitigate those effects. Because if you have those adverse childhood experiences, it can be a lifelong problem for you.
We've often focused on Just in Time and what it provides as far as resources to foster youth transitioning out of the system. We've covered events where there's furniture that's donated to them for a new place of their own. What is provided in the way of mental health support?
So a couple of years ago, we determined that the way that a lot of people look at mental wellness is something that you do after you have all of your other basic needs met. Then you start to say, okay, what's my sense of well-being? But we see mental wellness as a basic need. Because if you really don't have that, it's harder for you to navigate life. And you can come up with obstacles that then you can't overcome. So we decided that we were going to really provide consistent, reliable mental wellness services. There are things that are available through the county, but often those are limited. You have 6 sessions, and when you go back, you go to a different person every time you go back, which doesn't work.
That sense of trust isn't there, right?
And so if you really don't have access to a service, it's not going to help you. So what we did was we hired a clinical psychologist to be on staff, and then we formed a partnership with Alliance International University. So we have graduate student interns who come, and we're able to provide free access to therapy. And it is not limited. You go as long as you need to. And part of our challenge also has been to change the experience of therapy for our participants, because when they were in care, often they were sent to be fixed. And so that's how they saw therapy. It's not for me, it's for other people's benefit. And so now we have this whole community approach to healing and to therapy that's really caught on. It's been remarkable that in a short time, so many of our young people are now looking for therapy, telling other people about the benefits of it, and we're expanding from individual therapy to doing some group work and family relationship work. So it's been a real big success for us.
Because if they're successful, we're all successful. I think we get that message loud and clear.
Right.
And I know the community has been a big help. Is there a call to action with Just in Time for the community you want to share?
Certainly. There's 2 things I would say. One is that one of the mitigating effects of adverse childhood experiences for us is community. So we have hundreds of volunteers who provide that sense of reliable relationships. So if you want to volunteer to be with Just in Time and help to form those connections and those relationships, that's great. Also, we need support, of course, to continue to do what we're doing to make that. We open a mental wellness center. We actually have a space that's just for that. So if you want to support that, you can go to our website, which is jitfosteryouth.org, and we welcome any support that people feel motivated to give to us.
Well, Don Wells, thank you so much for the time this morning and for all you're doing for our community. Appreciate it.
And again, thanks for having us.
Yes. JITfosteryouth.org.
.org.
Right. Got it.
All right.
Thanks, Don. Coming up.